Meta TIL. How did ancient humans travel the world? Pillar. T3. Human origins and survival mood. Sarcastic documentary / prehistoric comedy format. Short 8, 15550 words target STIL. Allo explains. Sharp ironic visual first mascot led catchphrase _US. No hashtag script narrator. A person today can complain because a car ride takes 4 extra minutes. 4 minutes. Meanwhile, 300,000 years ago, humanity's premium transportation package was 2 feet. No engine. No wheels. Know your driver has arrived. Just your legs, a questionable amount of confidence, and the tiny hope that something with teeth does not notice you. For almost all of human history, every journey happened at walking speed, around 4 miles per hour, and that one boring limitation shaped everything. Where you lived, what you ate, who you met, how much of the planet you could even imagine existed. The story of human movement is basically one giant argument with distance. First, we defeated walking, then water, then weight, then speed. Then we became so good at crossing the world that we started getting angry when an elevator took 10 seconds too long. This is how ancient humans traveled the world, and somehow it started with the world's most annoying invention, the human body. Narrow for humans were never the fastest animals. A cheetah can hit around 70 miles per hour. A horse can maintain around 30. A human, maybe around 15 miles per hour. For a few seconds. Then the human operating system crashes. But here's the strange part. We were built for endurance. Our feet work like springs. Our Achilles tendons store energy. Our bodies can dump heat through roughly 2 million sweat glands. Basically, nature looked at us and said, "You are not a sports car. You are a very sweaty hiking machine." The evidence goes back millions of years. The footprints at Laetoli, Tanzania show ancient humans walking upright around 3.6 million years ago. Long before cities, long before roads, long before anyone invented the concept of being late. Eventually, our ancestors learned the most powerful travel technology they owned: keep walking. In good conditions, some groups could cover around 20 miles a day for weeks. Slow? Absolutely. But unstoppable? Also yes. Okay, narrator. One major expansion out of Africa happened around 70,000 years ago. The distance? Around 15,000 miles. Imagine leaving home without knowing. There is another continent. There are oceans. There are no restaurants. There is no map. Just, maybe there is something over there. But this was not random wandering. Humans were not prehistoric tourists accidentally taking the wrong exit. They followed resources, animals, water, materials, connections. Evidence from trade materials like obsidian, shells, and amber shows these movements created networks between groups. Ancient humans were not just walking, they were building the first invisible roads. An aerator, no satellites, no GPS. No blue navigation arrow saying, "Turn left in 500 meters. Just memory, observation, and a brain that refused to accept too far. NAR-rater, walking solved land. But the planet had a giant blue problem: water. At some point, humans looked at the ocean and made the worst possible decision. Let's cross it. The earliest boats were probably simple: a floating object, a piece of wood. A very optimistic human. But crossing water happened surprisingly early. In Flores, Indonesia, stone tools left by earlier human relatives, not our species, date back around 800,000 years. Getting there required crossing sea barriers, including stretches of water that remained at least around 12 miles wide even when sea levels were lower. Meaning someone looked across the ocean and thought, yes, that looks survivable. Human confidence has always been dangerous. Around 65,000 years ago, humans reached Australia. That required crossing at least around 60 miles of open water. No engines, no GPS, no emergency button. Just skill, planning, and a suspicious amount of bravery. Later, Polynesian navigators pushed this even further. They crossed thousands of miles of ocean using stars, waves, winds, and environmental clues. The ocean was not a wall anymore. It became a highway. Narrator distance was not always the biggest problem. Weight was. A human can carry roughly 40 to 60 pounds comfortably. After that, congratulations. You have become a very slow statue. Early humans dragged supplies. Then came a better idea. Use animals. Dogs may have helped transport loads around 15,000 years ago. A travois, a simple dragging frame, allowed one person to move around 100 pounds. Suddenly, humans were not just moving themselves. They were moving their world. Then came horses. Around 5,500 years ago, people in Botai, Kazakhstan were using horses. Evidence includes changes on horse teeth linked to bits and traces of horse milk in pottery. The horse transformed travel, food, trade, war, communication. A human on foot saw a huge world. A human on a horse saw a much smaller one. Narrower 4. A horse could carry humans far faster than walking, especially over short distances. Compared with walking, that made the world feel 8 times smaller. Suddenly, messages traveled faster. Trade expanded. Armies moved. Ideas spread. But here is the weird part. Humans crossed oceans before inventing the wheel. The oldest known wheel comes from the Ljubljana marshes in Slovenia, around 5,200 years ago. The wheel was not originally a magical travel device. It was a solution to moving heavy things. Later, improvements like spoked wheels around 2000 BCE created faster vehicles. Add roads. Add animals. Add wheels. Now distance started losing. Ancient roads, including early paved routes around places like connected this new transportation system. The formula became simple. Animal power. Wheel technology. Better surfaces. Together, they changed civilization. Narrator. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans fought distance one step at a time. Then suddenly, cars, planes, global networks. A vehicle can travel around 70 miles per hour. A plane can cross around 3,000 miles in 6 hours. A person can summon transportation from a phone and complain when it arrives in 4 minutes. Now right here, the funny part. Our ancestors never had the luxury of staying still. They moved because they had to. They crossed deserts. They crossed oceans. They carried everything they owned. Not because they knew where they were going, but because standing still was never an option. Narrator human history is the story of turning too far into how soon. And maybe the strangest achievement is not that humans traveled the world. It is that we solved distance so completely that we forgot distance was ever the problem. They didn't know where to go. They went anyway.